morning. Good morning to everyone and happy Cinco de Mayo for everyone who is celebrating. Today is Wednesday, May 5th, and we are live with the Morning Mint. We're so happy to see you all, and we are very excited about our lineup for this morning. We're inviting some of our incredible Triple Mint agents to join us today, and I want to give a special shout out to one of our producers of the Morning Mint, who is Michelle Warman. She is, so a special shout out for Happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone. And so today we're joined by the Carson Alexander team, Erin, Frizzy, Carson Alexander, married couple, awesome people. Erin Seawood of Team Carte Blanche, also another incredible person that we're so grateful to work with. Shane Boyle, who will be jumping on any second now, also part of Team Carte Blanche. And today is all about the kings and queens of kings and queens. And that means that we're looking at Brooklyn and Queens from some residential experts. Hey, Shane. Good morning.
What's up?
Everyone.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for having me.
We're so happy to have all of you. You're looking so great this morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
To be here. Best background, second to Rosana, has to go to Erin Seawood. Did you hang those photos yourself?
Yes, I did actually. It's a little.
Woo! Watch out, world.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look level too.
Yeah, for most part. Right before this, I was like.
We love that picture of you right above your head, Erin. That is so adorable.
That's me at 4. Yeah, that's a little Erin.
Hardly changed.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Still just as adorable. So first of all, in talking about backgrounds, who knew that my background was going to be backwards? It's been pointed out to me and I'm like, well, that's something good to know. Next time
People are paying attention.
That's right. They're dialed in.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And also we want to give a shout out to Molly Townsend, who is normally going to be our Wednesday host, wasn't feeling well because of the vaccine. So we're stepping in for her today, but so happy to have all of you together today. So thank you again. Okay, let's jump right into the real estate news. Okay, so as we discussed yesterday on the Morning Mint, the city is going to start lifting all restrictions, COVID-related restrictions on May 19th. The subways are starting to operate 24 hours a day for the first time since March 2020 on May 17th, which is huge, okay? Vaccines are being made available to tweens in the coming days. And obviously this return to normalcy is so welcomed by many locals and people around the country. However, there is one thing that people have a question mark about, and that is that it's starting to be time to return to offices, okay? So for example, but there's a change. Things have changed. 70% of CEOs surveyed said they're taking less office space, okay? And while other companies are trying to lure their employees back in. For example, SL Green Realty and CoStar are offering lotteries. They're offering trips to Barbados, a free Tesla to get their people back into the office. So some questions for you all about this. Erin, you have been, as a family man who's been working on and off remotely with your entire family for the last 14 months, first of all, how have you all made it work in the last year?
That's a great question. We've been super creative, and I've had a mobile office. So a lot of people laugh at me because they always see me in my car and wondering if I was doubling as an Uber driver. But seriously, with our kids being remote, and then one kid in every day, we've just had to alternate. So I found myself making one of the bedrooms an office. My wife has worked out of our bedroom, work at the kitchen table. We've had to really get creative, but super excited about, this wave of people going back to the office. We're always out and about most part, but I'm excited to get back and be around my colleagues. I'm looking forward to that.
For sure. I know I am as well. Okay, Carson, what do you expect to see as the city starts to reopen and people head back into the office?
Well, there's a whole secondary economy, especially in Midtown Manhattan, that is focused around servicing people who work in office buildings, and I expect to see that landscape sort of start to come back as well. Certainly, there are opportunities. There are plenty of vacancies, and I think if we all know anything about New York City, it's that it will continue to revitalize and reinvent itself constantly. So I think that the landscape of Midtown Manhattan is going to see a good shot in the arm from that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's great. I know it's a welcome shot. I've been in Midtown a lot over the last few months, and it's slowly changed from a ghost town to little by little more and more people. And it's a good vibe. It's like a new normal that's a little bit better. It's less congested. It seems like more people are happy to be around other people. So that's a good thing. So the Real Deal also reports that Deutsche Bank is considering a model where workers can work from home 3 days a week. So, Erin, what will this look like for residential real estate in New York City?
I think it's.
Oh, sorry, Erin Frisbee. There's Erin
Oh.
and there's Aaron. Sorry.
I would think with a model like that, it would be very good for residential real estate in Brooklyn and Queens. If you're working from home 3 days a week, you're only having to make a commute 2 days out of the week. It stands to reason that some of these neighborhoods that often get poo-pooed for being too far out, the commute's too long, you might be willing to consider something like that because you're not having to do it 5 days a week. Maybe you can look for your dream home in a neighborhood like Bay Ridge or Cypress Hills or something a little further out that has great properties, lots of space, all the things we love about Brooklyn. And it's just a little further out, but that's less of a problem for you if you're not having to go into the city 5 days a week.
Makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. It makes a 1 hour commute much more palpable, especially when you just love where you live and you're surrounded more by nature in deeper Brooklyn, for example. Okay, yeah. I love that. It really opens up a lot of opportunities for people, which I think people have been wanting anyway, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so that's Deutsche Bank. On the other hand, JP Morgan announced their entire workforce must return to the office within the next coming months. Shane, what are your buyers and renters seeing with their employers, or what are you seeing with your clients?
Yeah, I think for me, anyway, generally, it's such a relief. I think we've been waiting on this point to try to get these announcements to come out, and we're trying to see when are they coming out. So it's kind of like such a breath of fresh air to hear all this news coming out. Definitely, to echo Carson and your point, Rosana, Midtown is definitely coming back to life. I've been walking around there and in and out of apartments and buildings, and starting to see the corporate world come back a little bit. It's still sort of quiet, but definitely seeing more in the bars and restaurants. People are starting to definitely come back in the city, which is hugely encouraging.
Huge. It really is. It really is. Okay, thank you so much. So that relates to Midtown a lot, but let's talk about the whole theme of Wednesday, which is the kings and queens of kings and queens. That's you talking about Kings County and Queens County. So let's hear what's going on in the Brooklyn and Queens real estate market. Aaron, tell us what's happening in Brooklyn.
Well, it's great. It's funny. We keep hearing these overarching like headline grabbers. It's either a buyer's market or it's a seller's market or Brooklyn is happening. I think to drill down a bit, let's talk about contracts signed, because that's the real deal, right? You can have whatever is listed, but it's really who pulls the trigger and wants to move forward on something. So for comparison, last year, April 2020, there were 109 contracts signed. To be expected, we're in the throes of a pandemic. Fast forward to April 2021, and we have 510 contracts signed. That's 368% increase.
Wow.
Now, Carson will give some context to those numbers in a bit, but the energy is palpable. You can even compare month over month from March of this year at 356 contracts signed to 510. That's a 43% bump. So the energy is real. Buyers are out. Sellers are selling. But I do think that we need to give some context to those numbers. There's a lot of buyers that are hearing about highest and best, and that's true. But that only really relates to properties that are turnkey, prime location, all the boxes are checked. But if you're open-minded and open to 85% of a house, And like how Aaron mentioned, you know, willing to go further out now because the flexibility, there's a ton for you to choose from. And conversely, sellers, they need to price properly and they need to present right. Because we were out with a buyer recently, saw about 25 properties, budget was up to $1 million, and they only put offers on 2 places out of 25.
Wow.
So there's something to be said for people jockeying for the same thing. And if you just make some tweaks to your budget, or if sellers make some tweaks to their presentation, deals can get done.
I love that. I love that. And part of the reason that we're doing the Morning Mint is so that our viewers can get exposure to the incredible team that we have here at Triple Mint. You know, I feel very fortunate to work with Triple Mint. We attract wonderful people, not only wonderful people, but extremely professional and knowledgeable real estate agents. So everyone that you're seeing here on today's live stream is exactly who you want to talk to if you're looking for a deal or you want to win a bidding war in Brooklyn, Queens, and elsewhere. So, you know, Carson and Aaron, tell us about what you're seeing in Brooklyn as well.
Well, inventory is up year over year, which is not a surprise that we have more going on this year than last year. It's also up month over month, which is to be expected. That's probably going to continue until there's usually a bit of a dip in August when everyone takes a little bit of time off. So things are sort of back to pre-pandemic levels. But as Aaron rightly mentioned, there are deals to be had, but there aren't fire sales anymore. And I think it can be misleading. You know, I feel like an article comes out in the New York Times every week saying, these horror stories about, there were 54 offers and buyers, waiving inspections. And those are in other parts of the country. That's never in the 5 boroughs. And I think it can be misleading for sellers thinking, oh, where's my 54 offers? And for buyers panicking, thinking, do I have to waive an inspection? And I think it's worthwhile to say that it's really been much more level here than maybe those other parts of the country that those articles are about. You should never waive an inspection. And while people are getting multiple offers, right, the right properties are, I've never seen 54 offers lately.
No, I mean, I think that our inventory, we're right at about our 10-year quarterly average on inventory in Brooklyn. So we're back to pretty much where we were. And I think that, like Mr. Seawood said, the media is trying to sell clicks. Either New York is real estate is a dumpster fire, or it is the best thing since sliced bread. And I think that right now the truth is somewhere in between. So get with a great agent, ask them what's going on, because they are in the market every day, day in and day out. Try to avoid the hyperbole of the headlines, and there is something out there for you. I promise.
Absolutely. Good tip. And one of our viewers, my best Brooklyn realtor, made a good point. National stats don't apply. New York City market is such a unique market. Yep. And even the submarkets within New York City are unique. So it really just depends on what you're looking for, what your budget is, what your timeline is.
Typically, buyers pay attention to national headlines, and sellers pay attention to what their neighbor got offered 2 years ago.
Totally.
So that's where you have the dislocation sometimes in the market. But best BK realtor, you're 100% correct.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Shout out to BK realtor.
That's right. That's right. So by the way, for everyone who's just tuning in, today is our premiere episode of the Kings and Queens of Kings and Queens. You'll be seeing quite a bit more of the Carson Alexander team and Team Carte Blanche. Our segments are, first we talk about real estate news, then we give a local market update, and then we talk about what's happening around town. And so here we are, we're talking about what's happening around town. I am very excited to hear what is going on. So I want to hear, first of all, I'm so sorry, Shane, I totally skipped over you. Tell us what's happening in Queens.
Yeah, Queens has been doing remarkably well. In particular, Long Island City, some new development buildings in Long Island City that are priced really well, the Hero being one of them, with private outdoor space. It's been trading really well. In Astoria and in Ditmars particularly, the Rowan has been doing incredibly well. I believe they're just over 50% sold. And even to break that building down further, what's been doing really well in there is the 2 bedrooms with private terraces. So sort of even to that point of the headlines and people wanting bigger spaces and private outdoor space, definitely in these particular buildings in Queens, that seems to be true. And then on the third neighborhood that we really focus on in Western Queens is Sunnyside. And I mean, a single family there just a couple of weeks ago went into contract for 1.85 million list price, which is crazy. Now, given it was a beautiful, large brick building, corner lot, but to get them prices in Queens, we haven't seen them before. So really, really exciting for the neighborhoods and for Queens in general.
That's incredible. I mean, listen, New York City is always a place that people are going to want to be. And now with it coming, you know, just back to life in the sense that we're opening up again, I feel like people are just craving to go. So many people who left for whatever reason just want back in because that city that they love is not only back, but better than ever. Okay. Because in a lot of ways, some of the changes that we're making, as we're talking about, make for a better quality of life in city life. So happy to hear that. Okay, well, now let's talk about what's happening around this city that makes it one of the best places in the world to live. Shane, right back to you. Tell us what's going on.
Well, I was just reading some newspapers over the last couple of days, and I seen what's made me very excited anyway is Governor's Ball is back this year. It was cancelled last year with COVID, and it's not on Governor's Island. It's actually in Queens. It's in Citi Field. And there's a really cool virtual video that you can check out on their website that shows you sort of the setup. It's like a 360-degree concert, 5 or 6 different stages. Headliners, Post Malone, Billie Eilish, and that's in September, I think the 3rd week in September. So great for Queens, great for just to get back in general. It's a good sign that again, to our previous point, that the city's coming back.
Totally. And just to jump in, tickets go on sale when? Tomorrow, I think?
Thursday, yeah, tomorrow.
Okay,
yeah.
That's great.
I'm probably going to get one if somebody wants to join me.
Wonderful. Yes, that sounds so much fun. And by the way, if you haven't all seen the Billie Eilish British Vogue cover, she is looking so incredible. And if you don't know as well, it was just announced that she is going to be co-hosting the Met Gala this year with Amanda Gorman, the youngest poet laureate ever. So that's going to be a really special event. We can't wait to see more of Billie Eilish. Okay, Shane, what else? What else is happening?
I thought was really exciting as well was the Lime Moped bikes have just hit Western Queens. I'm not sure if I'm going to be brave enough to get on one yet. But they're really affordable. It's $1 to unlock them, and it's like 30 something cents per minute to ride it. So I can see that doing really well. I think they're deploying initially 100 mopeds, and then to the next round will be 500. Interested to see will they come into the city though.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, I see that they're going to be in Brooklyn as well, and in Manhattan too. So that should be interesting. Curious to see how that goes. Okay, Carson and Erin, what's happening?
More in music news. On July 20th, you will either be flocking to or fleeing from the Barclays Center. Justin Bieber is making a stop on his world tour. Tickets are on sale now.
I can't help but wonder the timing between tweens being eligible for vaccines and Justin Bieber announcing his world tour. I'm, not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying, follow the money. I think Bieber is involved.
Makes sense. It tracks.
I think that's safe to say.
Okay. I'm so happy to hear that Justin Bieber's back on tour. I'm loving his vibe lately. And also, it's just a sense of return to normalcy. Yes, I welcome Justin Bieber's world tour at Barclays Center. Okay, Erin, what is going on?
I am super excited. We have Banksy coming to New York City. So it's the Banksy Expo, Genius or Vandal. Now, any of you that know Banksy, that's a pseudonym. We don't even know who he is. Some people tried to out him years ago. I'm just going to ride with, he's anonymous. Incredible art. You've seen it around the city and around the world. This expo has toured 15 cities. It is finally in New York. I'm claiming it for the planet of Brooklyn. It hasn't been announced yet, but and what's great about this is that he's not even endorsing this, right? True to his whole thing. So it's curated from private collections. It's 80 to 100 pieces of his work combined with virtual reality. So it's going to be an immersive experience about his career. So really sick. It's 60 to 80 minutes. Tickets went on sale yesterday. So the news broke a few days ago, but tickets just went on sale. Of course, I copped 4. They're $19.70 each, so pack of 4 for $80. Get them. So it's starting in August, and we got September 9th. So DM me if you need the link, because we're going. Super excited about that, though.
I'm going to say genius as opposed to vandal. I don't know too many vandals who have an art exhibit curated against their will. Just saying.
Right. Think about that. Right. Yeah. And he's been able to stay anonymous, funny enough, because of his style, with the pencil drawings and stencils. So it's been, he can get in and out. So really excited to see that.
Love that. That's going to be incredible. And I really, really looking forward to that. Thank you so much. I just see that Sorrel and Noel of Team Carte Blanche are chiming in the comments. We're happy to see you all. By the way, they're going to be on next Wednesday for the Kings and Queens of Kings and Queens. So make sure you're tuned in then at 8 a.m. And so, wow, this goes by so quickly. This is supposed to be 12 minutes long, but there's so much to talk about. So last thing we'll say before we sign off is we want you to all tune in this evening at 7 p.m. to IGTV. We're so excited to be sharing At Home with Triple Mint. I was honored enough to do a video tour of Philip Lang's home. Philip Lang is, if you don't know Philip, you're really missing out. He's one of the incredible people that make Triple Mint what it is. He's our co-founder and COO, and he showed us around his Lincoln Center home. And by the way, he's one of the people that make Triple Mint one of the best places to work, as voted by AM New York just yesterday. So thank you, AM New York. Actually, not one of the best place, #1 place, which I can vouch for that. So I think, again, everyone, thank you so much for being with us today. For our audience members, please reach out to our incredible team. Not only are they incredibly talented, but they're awesome people. You're going to enjoy spending time with them. Not only get the home that you want or sell the home for the price that you want, but you're going to enjoy the process with the Carson Alexander team and Team Carte Blanche. So please reach out, DM us if you need more information. Thank you all for joining us. Erin, Carson, Aaron, and Shane. Have a great day. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Bye.
Have a good one. Take care.